Oh, baby! Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mikey Rolls here with the head tech, Andrew.
What's up?
Today we're here to talk about a little Chevelle action. We got a 1970, this beauty right here, this orange gem. We're gonna be doing a radical build on this one with a big LS3 motor, full roaster shop chassis with all the goodies. So for now, we're gonna get warmed up with this guy. Gonna do a nice little easy motor swap. There is something to say about a car that you could drive anywhere at any time. This one right here is that car, this 1970 Chevelle. It don't matter, rain, shine. Speaking of rain, it's starting to rain now. This guy can take his car out. He doesn't have to worry about it. He can pound that pedal down and have some fun. We're getting ready to pull a big block out and throw a Texas Speed LS3 in this puppy.
It actually started as a stock GM Performance LS3. Texas Speed went through it, put a set of their PRC cylinder heads and a stage 2 camshaft, the upgraded valve train to go along with that cam. They say about 525 horsepower we should be seeing out of the unit.
That sounds like fun, but you know when we add all that power, what else you need? That big rear end in the back. This one's like a strange rear end, 9-inch.
Don't forget the 6-speed Tremec transmission that we're installing also with a custom transmission tunnel. It's gonna be nice.
We're gonna go ahead and get this big block pulled out and see if we can't slam this LS3 in and do some burnouts today. You wanna do it?
I don't know, maybe we should have Donnie do it.
I don't wanna do it either. Let's have Donnie do it.
So here's the plan today. So we're actually gonna be dislodging this thing, breaking all the connections, trying not to make a mess of the shop, get it out, and then from there, we'll get things prepped up to put the LS. Not only is the LS smaller, it's more lightweight, and the output is probably a lot more than this thing. So this thing's gonna be all hopped up on Mountain Dew. So now that we got the radiator out, I actually want to pull the radiator support out, but I'm going to try to do it with this in here. Now that everything's disconnected, we're going to physically lift the motor up. We're going to guide the transmission out and come up and over. I think we got plenty of room here. We banged this thing out before 12 o'clock. Time for lunch, clean up the mess. We're going to get rid of disconnected and just pull this thing out without making too much of a mess in the shop. Got the old big block out. There she is. So I have to go through and make heads and tails of what I can get rid of and what I can't. But as you see, we got ourselves a fire hazard, man. We got a little wood block. Okay, look at that, that's cool. It's gotta go. The new LS3, we're using a Haltech standalone. We have the body harness, which works. The whole goal now is to get the front end wired nice. So I'm gonna start cleaning this up.
I'm going back under the dash and kind of cleaning everything up. All this stuff I was able to take out and get rid of. So it's gonna make it a little bit easier for me to get behind the dash and clean up the gauges and hook everything up. What I'm gonna end up doing is adding an auxiliary fuse panel, and then I'll be able to feed my gauges properly with fuses and also all the other circuits that I have over here. This goes to the starter. This is gonna run into our Haltech terminated harness and a switch voltage for the Haltech Elite. I got the gauge cluster out of the vehicle. All the power feed for the gauges and the lights were coming directly off the ignition positive switch. Nothing had its own dedicated circuit. What I'm gonna do is run the ignition switch power to a relay. I'm gonna have an auxiliary fuse box and have these run through that auxiliary fuse box. It'll be a lot safer, a lot tidier, a lot easier to repair in the future if anything goes bad. Onto the ECU. It's packaged up nice and tight because it is tight for space down here. So I'm gonna tuck it right underneath the dash. Yeah, so I'll have our wires for the ECU and the wideband going straight up inside here, tucked away.
We got our new Texas Speed LS. Woo-wee!
Oh,
baby! Yeah. We got instructions.
The race fan and lift and everything.
Oh my lord.
So it's a 6.2 liter Gen 4 engine, PRC cylinder heads from Texas Speed, and an upgraded camshaft.
We also have these beautiful billet Wagner drive kit. Look at all that nice billet blang.
This was originally an auto car, so he's gonna start banging gears now. It's gonna be a ripper.
Donnie's got the cross member prepped, ready for our motor mounts. Andrew's got the bell housing and slave cylinder installed with a remote bleeder. We got the monster clutch and the flex plate installed.
Flex plate?
I mean, automatic flywheel. Hey man, I'm just the good looking guy around the shop. Oh. We're gonna get the transmission mounted onto the motor. We're gonna drop it in this bad boy. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, what's going on there, Papa Poos?
I totally forgot the torque settings.
You're supposed to know all this stuff.
Hey, that's what Google's for.
So over here you can see we stripped out the seats as well as the center console. Now we can easily access the transmission tunnel to make room for our T56 manual gearbox. So right now we're still in the mock-up stages. We're setting the engine. Now we can get a little bit more access to raise the transmission up. We can set the pinion angle, cut the trans tunnel.
Keep on cutting. Winner, winner, chicken dinner!
We have the engine mounts finalized. As you can see, we got them all mounted up. So now we can get the right measurements for our transmission being in the right place to modify the cross member. So I'm gonna use the stock cross member, cut off the mount tab for the trans mount, and then repurpose the cross member for the new position and the new mount. I got it over here on the table, about to start cutting it up so we can get this thing prepped up.
Guys, we got to get these CPP trailing arms out of the way, get these QA1 coilovers off, get all this old rear end suspension parts, trailing arms all out of the way so we can make room for our new rear end. We're going to do some undercoating underneath where the gas tank sits so we can get our new gas tank mounted up. I wanted to lay these tanks up on the table and show you guys what you got from a factory tank from the 70s and an updated stainless steel tank. The factory tank is made out of steel. It obviously rusts and corrodes, which eventually could lead to some damage to your fuel pump and debris in your lines. Here we got a brand new stainless steel tank from Rick's Fuel Cells in Texas. Everything's made in the USA. Comes pre-assembled with your pump, your sending unit. This is a direct factory replacement, and it should just mount right up here in the spot where the old one used to sit. We're gonna get this thing put up inside the car. She's all up in there looking real nice. We got some fuel system parts. Here we got this Aeromotive regulator, which I made a little custom mount for. So that's gonna sit up in this little spot here like this. It's got a return, so that's gonna go back to our tank. Should work out real nice. So I'm gonna get this thing mounted with some riv nuts. So we got some of our 3-inch pipe out of the box. We got our crossover piece up. This is our connector under our long tube headers. So what we're doing right now is just kind of dry fitting it and seeing if everything's gonna kind of jive, which usually it's not. This is an old car with modern drivetrain. We got a new strange rear end, brand new stainless steel gas tank, our whole ride tech suspensions. These are all things that are typically not in a 70 Chevelle. So we're gonna try to see if we can't fabricate a couple things, maybe move some hangers and get this thing up inside this car today. right, the delivery day is here. We just did a Texas Speed LS3 swap-in, the Wegner full accessory drive. We did a full ride tech suspension, front and back. We did a 9-inch strange rear end. We put a T56 in it with a custom transmission tunnel. We did a nice big Willwood brake kit on it. Car's making some decent power. It's a street tune right now. I think he's gonna take it home, enjoy it for a little bit, bring it back, put it on the dyno and see if we can't squeeze some real numbers out of it. Meanwhile, I think there's only one thing left to do. All right, guys, so Jason has got his Chevelle. He's taking it home. He's gonna get some miles on it, get the fluids all rolling, so that way when he comes back and we throw it in the dyno, we don't grenade the motor, you know, all that fun stuff. Meanwhile, we're gonna be jumping on our 70 Chevelle that you guys may have seen in the background, this little orange baby right here. We're going all in on it. We're throwing a beautiful Roadster Shop chassis, a brand new LSX motor with some twin turbos. If you're not subscribed to our channel, hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of this build. It's gonna be fast.
Boom, look what we got here. We got handsome man do-rag Daryl. We got me,
Do-rag
Tony Pete, hanging in the house with my boy Hot Rod Steve. And we are trying to tune this Hall Tech to the 71 Chevelle.
I want to live in your world, though.
No, you don't. It's terrible. No, it is a terrible thing to be in this thing.